do you think? Which team is the best in the NFC?
It is easy. It's the Eagles. You know, they were able to put up 34 points with a backup quarterback in Gardner Minshew. You know, I don't know what Mike is talking about, right? His Cowboys, who he claims the best team in the NFC, they gave up 40 points to my Jaguars and 34 points to the Eagles, right? And two 100-yard receivers. I think the difference in this particular game is this. Jalen Hurts, the influence that he has in the run game. You know, he's out there, zone reads. They have to account for that sort of dynamic from the quarterback position. So that opens up Miles Sanders. In this game, Miles Sanders only had 65 yards rushing on 21 touches. That changes if Hurts is available. Because when you go in and you prepare throughout the week for Jalen Hurts, those ends that have to get up the field, they're changing their speed in which they rush. So I think that Mike got it wrong. Cowboys, they're going to be the Cowboys of old. They're going to falter early on in the playoffs. But clearly the Eagles are the best team, the more rounded team, the better secondary, the better guys up front. When Hurts return, they're going to be able to run the ball better. The two receivers on the outside, better than any other two receivers on the other side, as opposed to what the Cowboys have. So for me, I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC.
Channing?
You're crazy, Fred.
That's fine.
That's wild.
I've been called
worse. I'm going to go with the 49ers because I'm a defensive guy, and they're going to pack their defense. Number one defense, most categories in the league right now, guys. They're going to come out. I just watched the Eagle-Cowboy game. What was 74 points were scored? That's just going through the goose. I can't say the real phrase. That is a defense that's not playing. 49ers have a defense, and that's what's going to happen in the playoffs. And everybody's going to get on Brock Purdy. I understand he's a backup quarterback. I understand that. This team is not built around a great quarterback, and we saw it with Jimmy Garoppolo. We saw it with Mullins when he had to play years ago. It's built on defense, and then with Chris McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle, all those guys, Ayuk, they have a hell of a core. They have a decent quarterback that can do enough, but this defense is going to win it. The Cowboys and the Eagles don't have a defense. And to the Eagles' point, Jalen Hurts, the way he runs, I love it until he gets hurt. He just messed his shoulder up trying to run the ball, run that option you're speaking of. If he's not healthy, Gardner Minshew's not carrying him anywhere.
What's crazy about this is that I agree with Fred that I think the Eagles are the best team. I think when the Eagles are whole, they're the best team. Now you got to figure out what's going on with Avonte Maddox in the slot defensively. I think that was huge. We saw the way CeeDee Lamb was able to work the slot once he was out of the game, and Avonte Maddox was affecting the game in a major way when you look at the first quarter. And then Jordan Davis, he just comes back off of injury. He gets a head injury in the game against the Dallas Cowboys. The injury that's important right now is Lane Johnson. When you look at Lane Johnson and what he means to that run game and what he can do also in pass protection when it pertains to Jalen Hurts, it's big because Jalen Hurts now has the injury. And, you know, it's always the question of how much do we run our quarterback? How much do we put our quarterback in harm's way? Well, when you're the Philadelphia Eagles, putting your quarterback in harm's way by allowing him to run the ball is what makes this offense dynamic. This offense was able to score 27 points against the Dallas Cowboys, and obviously they had the pick six that was given up by Dak Prescott, but they put up over 400 yards, right? A.J. Brown is going to be able to make plays. We're going to see plays made by Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, once he's truly back healthy, up and running, Miles Sanders in the backfield, Gainwell. They have players all over the place, but what's made this team different is their quarterback. What does Nick Sirianni do when Jalen Hurts is back? How does Nick Sirianni use him? Is he still that major chess piece that has him in the MVP conversation? And to me, top two along with Patrick Mahomes. I think those things are important. The other piece of it is I don't believe we can count Dallas out. I don't believe that if Dallas gets that Dak Prescott, that they can't be a factor. What's to say you go into the playoffs and Dak Prescott, who is now a veteran, Dak Prescott, who is now going through some of those adversities, that has to only beat Kirk Cousins. He has to go beat Brock Purdy. He has to go beat Jalen Hurts, who is also unproven in a playoff situation as well. And so when we look at the NFC, although I do feel when you look at the San Francisco 49ers defense and DeMeco Ryans, who should be a head coach in this head coaching cycle. It should be no conversation. He should get one of the first jobs. When you look at the job he's done with the San Francisco 49ers defensively, what team, right, is going to be able to score enough points against them, and when does Brock Purdy become Mr. Irrelevant? And so I do think when you look at this NFC playoff picture, it's so different from the AFC, because AFC, you like, we got Josh, we got Patrick, we got Joe, we got Justin, we got Lamar. And on the other side, it's like, we got them. And so I do think that's where the questions come into play, where the Cowboys could become a part of this conversation.
Where do you think the Eagles stand in the AFC or in the NFC then, if they're not the top team?
I think the Eagles are third because we know the top 3 dogs. I got the 49ers as 1 because just that defense. You're
Wait,
talking about
the Eagles are third
yeah,
behind
The Cowboys.
the Cowboys. Because I don't believe, to your point though, and I'm saying this is if
I wouldn't have said nice things about them if you was gonna lie.
If Hurts wasn't
put them
hurt,
at 2.
if Hurts wasn't hurt, I think they would be set. I don't know if you can go out, Nick Sirianni can go out and now make this man the center of the offense, which he is. And when I was watching him drop his shoulder early in the year, I was like, ha, football. And I'm like, this is not going to end up well. Then he messes his shoulder up. Now he misses out these next 2 games. What if they don't get the number 1 seed? Now they're playing wild card. That number 1 seed is big for both sides to play that last game and have a week off. I think the 49ers are the best. Got the Cowboys there because I think Dak is going to make it happen this year, Freddie. I believe in Dak. Dak's playing well. And I got the Eagles right there at 3.
You make me feel like I need to go in concussion protocol.
Why are we disrespect? Why don't nobody bring up the Vikings, though?
What do you think about Channing's rankings of the top 3?
Totally, I disagree wholeheartedly. I think the Eagles are 1, as I said. Channing, the 49ers are a team that they're very spotty. They're very spotty. I think you'll see the inconsistencies as they get ready to enter the playoffs. And the Cowboys, let's just forget about them totally altogether. Because the strength of the Cowboys is their defensive line. They've had 1 sack in the last 3 games. They've given up 2 300-yard passers to Trevor Lawrence and Gardner Minshew backup. Yeah. So if Dallas can't get after the quarterback, they're not going to be able to get after anything.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.